So with that time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your mind. Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the gathering of Old Men Podcast. Myself, TC and Mullo, talk into this week's event.
What's the word, Troy?
Gentlemen, the word is, and this is gonna sound arrogant, but I told you so. I've been telling you so. And for everybody wondering what I've been talking about, conference realignment, right? We didn't had all these media days, and we'll talk about media days later. I was hoping Doc would be here so we can get into some of this other stuff, but we'll get into it. So less than 24 hours after the ACC media days were over, North Carolina has made it known that they've expressed interest in the SEC. Now, if you've been following the podcast, if you've been watching, we've been telling y'all for a while now that that's what the deal is. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get Florida State over to the Big Ten, and the North Carolina schools are going to the SEC along with Clemson. And I kept telling y'all for a very long time, stop lumping Clemson and Florida State together. Well, lo and behold, Clemson is also linked to the SEC. Who told y'all that?
So is the ACC going away?
I don't know if they're going away. I think they will pick off a couple other schools in the meantime, but I don't think they're going away.
I think a better question would be, is the same thing that happened to the Pac-12 going to happen to the ACC? Where there's this mass exodus of teams leaving for greener pastures.
It depends on Wake Forest.
Because they the standard.
That's what we do on TP.
I had to ask. I'm sorry. It
depends on Duke and Wake Forest. Two private schools, well funded, could survive in either another conference. I don't want to say G5 because I know I'm just their alumni of, but they could survive in another conference and do well. North Carolina State is not going to the Big 12. I haven't heard anything, but I can definitively say with my chest, North Carolina is not going to the Big 12. So the people who keep pushing that, them was the same people that said Florida State was going to the Big 12. It was also the same people that told me that the Big 12 had PE money, private equity money. We still waiting on that private equity announcement.
I'm not 100% sure that's going to even matter. Did you see the executive order that was signed today?
Oh, did you see my response to that executive order?
I didn't.
Because I read the executive order, and then I screenshot the part where it does nothing to regulate collectives.
It does.
And then I posted a toilet paper emoji. Because I told y'all before when they was talking about that, it is going to be worthless. And the reason that it's going to be worthless is if you ever notice, big money donors, big money lobbyists all go to schools where they donate heavy to.
Right. And then that automatically goes into the school fund, which is not considered third-party donations. You can't be third-party if you're an alum. Just like Nike being an actual alum of Oregon, they can't stop Nike's money.
Yep.
So there with there still being no cap, who is this really hurting?
It's not hurting any. So and then there was a thread that somehow got out of control about NIL and it was meant to circumvent the salary cap. NIL was never meant to circumvent a salary cap because there was no salary cap even thought of when NIL was in place.
To
Basically got
circumvent
approved by the
salary
court.
cap?
There was no salary cap. Okay, so
that's what they said.
It's revenue sharing. Revenue sharing has a $20.5 million salary cap, right? So revenue sharing is money directly from the school to the players. That's revenue sharing. NIL can't be directly from the school, but it can be from a collective. Now, just a few days ago, because I've been screaming this for a long time, collectives ain't going away. Nobody believed me. Just a few days ago, attorneys started screaming that their deals submitted to NIL Go were a week to 2 weeks with no notification if it was approved or denied. And we are running into the season. So the compromise was, and I'm going to use the term third party collectives, meaning not directly from the school, NIL deals will get approved. Remember when I told you they was going to get approved anyway?
Yeah.
That was the whole purpose behind athletes going to the court. And that lady in that robe said, you cannot limit their income from name, image, and likeness. Right. That's why the geniuses came up with revenue sharing, because you can limit revenue sharing. You can't limit NIL. That was always going to be the problem with them trying to limit NIL. Somebody was going to end up back in court. So that's going away. NIL is here. Revenue sharing is here. All the people complaining about, oh, there's unlimited salary cap. You do realize we come from an era where money was handed under the table. There was never going to be a limit. If you tried to limit these big money boosters, they were still going to hand money under the table. That wasn't ever going away. Doing it this way brings those donors out of the cold, out of the cold, their money on the table, and you ain't got to worry about people like Nevin Shapiro, I said his name, using Ponzi schemes to make sure Miami stayed on top. Well, it didn't matter because they were still losing the ACC anyway, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. A whole Ponzi scheme, y'all still ain't win no ACC championship. Never mind. But that was all of that going on, and then you got the SEC stuff with Clemson and North Carolina, which we talked about before, because of the I believe it's Board of Governors in North Carolina. The Board of Governors, I forget the gentleman's name, it's in my phone, basically said any conference realignment talk, they have to submit a plan to the Board of Governors before they can make any moves. That was done to protect North Carolina State from, if the ACC fall, I don't know which one is the flagship school. I don't know if it's North Carolina or who. But North Carolina goes to the SEC and the ACC folds. North Carolina State is in trouble. So they did this to make sure that North Carolina State has somewhere to fall. As it was explained to me, which I kind of disagree with, it doesn't necessarily mean that North Carolina State is tied to North Carolina. I believe they are. But it makes sure that North Carolina State has a landing spot, which is probably the SEC. So
if North Carolina go, if NC, you said North Carolina or NC State?
If North Carolina goes to the SEC, I believe North Carolina State is going with them because the rules that the Board of Governors for North Carolina put in place to make sure North Carolina State ain't left in the cold.
And who is that going to benefit? Because if you go over there, you're going to win 2 games.
They're not winning now, but they have a media rights deal that would be $60 million a year. I mean, Vandy's over there. They're not losing that by having North Carolina and North Carolina State over there.
You don't think so?
No, not at all. I think North Carolina is a market improvement over Vanderbilt. I think North Carolina State is an improvement over Vanderbilt.
Mm.
So and for everybody watching, I did shorten the podcast name because you only got so many characters. It is still the Gathering Old Men podcast, but the initials is G.O.O.M, not G.O.O.N, Kev. So yes, it is G.O.O.M podcast, season 12, episode 29. So that's why it's like that. I'm not sure. Normally Doc Holliday would be here. I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully everything is well. Also, we have with Danny, we have a family illness. So again, our prayers and thoughts go out to her family. But TP, you've had an interesting few hours. An interesting few hours.
Really?
I didn't know what time you got off work, but apparently you had time today.
I got time, man. I got time every day. You just don't know it.
So,
was I wrong? Well, I'll let you get the segue. Go ahead, get it out.
So there has been a lot of discourse about Cam Newton and how he talks about players, right? Nobody had any problems with what he was saying until he said something about Jalen Hurts. And essentially, he has his list of game changers and game managers. He also has a list of players that teams need him to win. He does not feel that Jalen Hurts is a player that the team needs to win because of what they've built around him, right? He clarifies that he has skill, but they don't need him to be out of his mind to win. Not that he couldn't, but that he didn't need to. There's some importance in what he's saying. And everybody decided to come at Cam as hating, as being jealous. Gilly, from that podcast, famous Philadelphia Eagles fan, thumped his chest and was saying how much of a hater Cam was because he didn't have a Super Bowl. Cam responded by going down everybody's accolades who criticized him and was saying, y'all ain't in my league, but since we doing numbers, I got numbers too, and yours don't match up. He did it with Ryan Clark. Poor Dan Orlovsky. Dan caught a stray.
He didn't even say nothing about Dan.
I know. Dan caught a stray, right?
Because there's nothing to speak. Because there ain't even nothing to speak of. There was nothing to like. His career was so uneventful. There is nothing. Look, Cam Newton, he operated out of my mama taught me, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And that's basically what happened with Dan Orlovsky, because there's nothing to say. You are, if anybody on that list was talking shit, the last person they can come at somebody's accolades. Because if you're making it to where, this sportscaster or this podcaster or this media personnel can't say something based off of their own individual accolades, then you're the last person that should be making this comment. Because what have you done? Because I can go back down Cam Newton's pedigree. We can take this all the way back to Auburn. We can take it back to Blinn College championship. Next year with Auburn, Heisman championship, NFL season MVP. You know what that means? That means he was the best player in the NFL that year. Not he was the best quarterback or the best offensive player or the best defense, like whatever. No, he was the best player in the NFL in 2015. That's set in stone. You cannot take that away from him. These are accolades that he earned, and he got a Super Bowl berth. They didn't win, however. They played a better team. We all can go back and watch that game, and you understand almost instantly why Carolina got their pants pulled down in that Super Bowl. Denver Broncos defense that year, impeccable. Von Miller wrecked the entire game plan. There's nothing you can do when the man is coming unabated to the quarterback every play, and he's just as big as the quarterback. Because all this talk, Cam Newton's huge. Yeah, Von Miller, not a small dude. 6'3", 250. They the same size. Yeah. So, and you couple that with other guys coming off of blocks, it was a long day for Cam. You know what I mean? But he fought as a warrior should. But what he's speaking on is his ideal of who is a game manager and who is not. And a lot of that usually has to do with the tools that you have around you. Because if you are in a situation where you have to put the team on your back and you don't have a lot of help, and then you're still putting up these great numbers, then okay, we can say that you are an elite player. Even if you have elite talent around you, your gameplay is going to tell us whether or not you are actually elite. And Jalen Hurts hasn't been asked to do the same things as some of the other guys on that list have been asked to do. What help has Justin Herbert had? Not much. You look at Joe Burrow, and I might be, look, don't shoot me, but I want to see Joe Burrow without Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Because if we look at Joe Burrow's career going back to LSU, he had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. Like, let that sink in. These are two of the top 4 receivers in the league, and he had them in college. So why was he even at LSU? Oh, because he didn't pan out at Ohio State. Like, let's go all the way back, because I'm not somebody that's gonna say, oh, I'm biased to this player or that player. I'm gonna give you straight facts. Joe Burrow has not had to produce without one of the best receivers in the game. And at one point, he had 2 of the top 4 receivers in the league right now to throw to. So is that a knock on him, though? I said I just want to see him without it, because I've seen what he can do with them. Now, you take somebody like Josh Allen, who hasn't necessarily had top-tier talent at receiver, but he's put up these ungodly numbers every year. And the only crutch that he's had is the fact that they run into the Chiefs every year in the playoffs, and they've gotten knocked out. Or he's running to the Ravens and got knocked out by Lamar Jackson, who's won 2 MVPs. I tell you right now, Jalen Hurts will probably never win a season MVP.
That now brings us to why TP was windmilling all over the internet today. And when I say, like, there is a scene in every like action movie where the star takes on like 20 people at a time. TP was taking on 20 people, and I was just sitting there going, I don't necessarily agree with Cam or TP, but they ain't wrong either, right?
2 things can be true.
2 things can be true, right?
And that was something that I also had to say to somebody. Like, hey, Jalen Hurts is good. You can even consider him elite, but he's not top 10. Like, you want to paint this picture where there's not 10 quarterbacks better than him because he won a Super Bowl. That's not how it works. You don't get to decide that all of a sudden now there's not 10 players better than somebody because they were able to win a championship on a team where they weren't necessarily the best player on their team. When Shaq and Kobe won 3 championships back-to-back, was those Kobe championships or were those Shaq championships? So, like, let's be for real.
I give you a great for instance. For instance, would you consider Brad Johnson a top 10 quarterback?
no.
When he played,
he had a great career, and he won a Super Bowl.
He won a Super Bowl. That's to say that I don't even understand. Like, you could put that example up, and immediately everybody, oh hell no, he did. Hell no, he didn't.
Time out. Why you had to use Brad Johnson? You had all the examples in the world, but
because Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. He's not a top 10 quarterback, and if it was not for that defense and the team that was around him, he wouldn't have won a Super Bowl.
Is Russell Wilson a top 10 quarterback?
Neighbor Lady is not a top 10 quarterback.
He's been to the Super Bowl twice and won one.
That's it, but that's not that's not what had people up in arms, TP. That's not what had people up in arms.
Was the fact that it was Cam Newton saying it. They don't, like he said.
I'm talking about
you want to shoot the messenger, but you don't want to shoot the message.
We know they were shooting Cam.
Exactly.
TP got a bazooka and just started shooting at Twitter today. It was almost as if Marlo possessed TP body.
What? How did I get involved?
And started. Marlo TP said, "Jalen Hurts is the black Brock Purdy."
Oh, that's good.
Look. And then I pull up both of their stats, and guess whose stats are better?
Brock Purdy.
Where's the art? Look, this dude had the nerve to tell me that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than CJ Stroud because he regressed last year. But when you look at the stats, how did CJ still end up with more touchdowns than him, and he didn't even play all 17 games?
Same thing with Tua.
Exactly. You put
Tua had more yards. He only played 11.
Only played 11 games.
He missed 8 games.
Then your GOAT who sits there and runs QB sneaks all game.
Listen. It got steamy. It got steamy.
People get in their feelings when they face with reality, and they just want to be right and they can't.
We're not gonna do this.
Jalen Hurts is not better than Baker Mayfield.
That's facts. Jalen Hurts hasn't beat Baker Mayfield.
He hasn't. They lose every time they see the Buccaneers because they playing a quarterback that's better than the one that they practice against.
So yeah, facts are facts, bro.
Facts are facts, and numbers don't lie.
They don't lie.
But Jalen Hurts managed the game well. He didn't turn the ball over. Like when you look at a quarterback who doesn't have a lot of touchdowns, but they also don't have a lot of interceptions or turnovers, what does that scream to you? Game manager. They're good at managing games. They're not going to wow you on the box score, but they're not going to do the things that lose their team the game. They play great defense. They run the ball, and they're able to convert short yardage situations because they have a quarterback that can squat 600 pounds. That is why they were able to win. They were able to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes with 4 people and play cover for a match the whole game, which is one of the most basic defenses you can run, but it's also the hardest to beat if you can't get your quarterback protected because everybody is out there. What are we looking at? Is it man in the zone? You don't even know until you throw the ball, and by then it's too late. And that's if you're able to even throw the ball, because they was getting pressure within 2 to 3 seconds every play. And then they dominate the clock to the point where now the Chiefs defense was on the field most of the game, getting worn down by a great running back. Like we can't ignore certain facts because it does not fit the narrative that you want it to. They want to paint a narrative that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback because he won a Super Bowl. That is far from true. Good guy. Great. He's a great man, a very good quarterback, and a great game manager. that's where I would put him. So there's no disrespect in this at all. But the fact is the fact. He's not one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league if we're basing it strictly on merit.
I don't have a dog in this fight, like I said.
And before you say that, I want to reiterate the point that nobody is saying this guy can't get it done. I don't think nobody's saying that, but
nope, didn't hear me say it.
He is a talented quarterback that has a very good team around him. Every quarterback in the league wish they had that. So I know Jalen Hurts ain't losing no sleep over this. This the whole conversation is for the internet. It ain't for him because he trying to go back and repeat.
Look, I'm convinced that man is a psychopath because they asked him how you feel about the Super Bowl. He said, I don't even think about that no more. I'm on the next year. And that's respect. Stay hungry.
That is what you call a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, that's respect. And you can be a franchise quarterback and not be the top 10 quarterback in the league. Again, two things can be true. You are what works for this organization. There are certain things. Okay, let me give y'all an example. Right? Are we have any history buffs in the building? Anybody? I will wait. Let me see. Is Terry Bradshaw a top 10 quarterback all time? This man has 4 Super Bowl rings. But is he a top 10 quarterback all times?
You that's third rail TP.
I'll wait.
That's the third rail TP. Now I'm gonna be. Oh man,
I'm asking a question. I didn't give any type of
since I ain't on Facebook no more. I ain't got to deal with Barbara. Terry Bradshaw, in my opinion, is not a top 10 quarterback.
Thank you.
Because he had two. He has. It's the same thing with Joe Burrow. You got Stallworth and you got Lynn Swann, and you got Franco Harris, and you got Rocky Blyer. You have monsters on your team.
Still,
listen,
you didn't even get to the defense.
That's what I'm saying. Just on offense. So there was never a play. There was never a down and distance where he had to worry about, oh man, we might lose this game because it's on me. That never happened. Right? The greatest play that never happened because it bounced off the ground. It bounced off the ground and into Franco Harris' hands, and he runs for a touchdown. So there was never a time.
That was actually a horrible pass if you go back and look at the.
It was.
It was thrown directly at the safety.
So,
that was literally one of the worst passes that ended in a touchdown in NFL history.
Yeah. And so all of that happened. And yes, he won 4 Super Bowls. Yes, he's undefeated in 4 Super Bowls. But the caveat is, in them 4 Super Bowls, he had them same monsters that I just named. I think, except for one, I think he didn't have Rocky Blyer for one. But he had the other 3 for the entire time. And that offensive line, which is in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Yeah, like half of the offensive line is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think, and they're lobbying to get the rest of the guys. The 1974 Steelers think that the entire roster should be in the Hall of Fame.
They do 100% do.
If you ask Mel Blunt, look, you can ask Mel Blunt right now, who you think from your team should be in the Hall of Fame? He's gonna say all 22.
All of them.
All 22, offense and defense.
No, he's not. Terry is not a top 10 quarterback.
He's not. And then we can go back. If we pull up the stats, his stats will tell you that he's not a top 10 quarterback. He's not a top 20 quarterback statistically.
That different era back then. Again, that was.
I understand a different era. That's why I'm saying top 10, because I can still put him in the top 20 because of the plays that he was able to make that put them in the situations where they could win the game. He can be considered a top 20 quarterback of all time because he has 4 Super Bowl rings. When we talk about somebody like Dan Marino, is Dan Marino a top 10 quarterback all time? A lot of people are going to say yes. But guess what? That man has 0 Super Bowls.
He went to one and he ran into the GOAT. It happens.
It happens.
It never went back.
It never went back.
So.
And this whole conversation wasn't to say, oh, was Cam Newton right now is Cam Newton a top 10 quarterback all time? Absolutely fucking not.
No.
But he did win an MVP. He was the best player in the NFL for a whole season. Has Jalen Hurts done that? He can't relate.
I see what you did, though. I see what you did. But
he does have a Super Bowl ring. He does have that hardware, which he worked very hard to get. And he played his role within the team scheme, and they won a Super Bowl. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't downplay the Super Bowl itself. I'll never do that. But he's not a top 10 quarterback in the league right now. Now when you got guys like Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud. Hell, if I was picking a team right now, I'm taking Jaden Daniels before I take Jalen Hurts. And he only played 1 year, but we could already see. You can see greatness at the quarterback position. Nobody's ever looked at Jalen Hurts play quarterback and say, this man is everything. No, he's pretty good. He's pretty good at keeping drives going. He's very good at managing the game, almost great at it. He has this poise to him where he doesn't panic. That's what you want from a quarterback, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I hope that he doesn't go out there and try to be something he's not.
I think that that individual, more so than any other individuals, I do believe that he is not paying attention to this foolishness. He's gonna go out and be him. Next year, this year, the year after that, he's gonna go out and be him.
As he should, though.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna take a quick little break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about some media days.
Somebody ain't sure.
It is definitely something to talk about. Definitely something to talk about.
Nope, not gonna do it.
You ain't like that stadium?
I am not gonna do it.
Well, you can see my face right now.
Shout out to BCU for getting a president that they university picked, the student body, their trustee board, they picked them. It wasn't influenced. So shout out to them.
Ooh, I honestly think that's the nicest you've been, Marlo. You know what?
Don't get used to it. Because I was just about to say something else, but I'm gonna pull up.
He's grown as a person.
You know,
God's still working on me.
The fact that I can't find the applause sound right now is now, man. There we go. That's growth. That's growth.
It was too early in the show for you to put that damn little tidbit up, so I ain't want to have that foolishness all across the screen.
Real quick, this just in from Adam Schefter before we get to the other stuff. The Raiders are releasing defensive tackle Christian Wilkins with the designation of terminated vested veteran.
Damn.
His time in Las Vegas is over. Due to how Wilkins treated the rehab from his foot injury he suffered last season, the Raiders have voided the remaining $35.2 million of his guaranteed money left on his contract last month and today. Wilkins has filed a grievance with the NFLPA.
He gonna get that money.
You know how bad you gotta treat your rehab to where they think, oh, you just BSing. The Raiders not giving you your money. That's new. That's new Pete Carroll stuff right there. Because
they have to prove malice within his rehab progression.
He's gonna get paid.
It's like being like in the military, or they try to accuse you of malingering, where you're like, saying that you hurt or causing yourself injury, so you don't have to work or not get deployed. There's a process that they have to go through to prove it.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I was the organization, I would have said it too. If it worked, you saved 36 million?
35.2, yeah.
If it worked, you say that. If not, you was gonna get rid of him anyway. And you the one signed a guaranteed deal. So man, that ain't no smoke there. He gonna get paid.
Think so?
Yeah. He definitely gonna get
another defensive tackle. Because Jamal Adams is too old to be trying to stop the run, but I ain't gonna get on that right now. We got plenty of time to get on that later on. So media days has been happening. And a couple interesting takeaways from media day. Before I get to MEAC, I wanna play this snippet from Coach Franklin, who is the head football coach at well, y'all not StreamYard Studio. Seriously, this is all right. StreamYard. Like, seriously. All I want to do is share my browser. That's it. All right. All right, let's try this now. Anyway. Share screen. Oh, all right. So basically, thanks, StreamYard. Y'all days is numbered with me. So basically, James Franklin was complaining that the Big Ten having their media day in Las Vegas took away from the media aspect of the day. And I'll put the link in the chat and in the description so everybody can see it. But he essentially said, look, why are we having it out here? Like everybody else's media day, it's an event. So when they have a question and answer session, it turns into a press conference. You are talking to media from this place, you're talking to media from that place. It is an event where the conversation is constantly about the Big Ten. With it being in Vegas, there is nothing up about the Big Ten. You don't see Big Ten placards like you saw with the SWAC. You didn't see Big Ten dummies with uniforms on. You ain't see none of that. You just saw them in a lavish casino hotel, and they take questions for them.
I'm gonna ask a question. What the Big Ten? What happened? The Big Ten won.
They just won a national championship.
Before that,
The other national championship.
Who? The Big Ten?
Yeah, they had Michigan and Ohio State won the national championships.
Oh, Michigan did win, and then they dismantled the damn team.
No, a lot of guys just moved on.
Yeah,
you got to look at the fact that the coach left as well. The coach left, and they had a lot of graduates. That Michigan team was full of seniors.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they didn't have guys ready to go, because they still had a top 5 defense last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That they are no slouches. They just didn't have a quarterback, and Donovan Edwards underachieved last year.
But I do get what Marlo's saying. Outside of Michigan and Ohio State, who are you dying to hear talk? Because Indiana's coach,
just keep going down the list.
Ain't nobody else you want to interview. I mean, Minnesota. I can't even tell you who Northwestern coach is.
It's just crazy.
So I get what you're saying, Marlo. I get what you're saying. It is not the Big Ten is not. They're not a glamour conference, right? You got, and for all this talk about, matter of fact, let's just go ahead and get to it.
They're very top heavy.
Indiana's coach said that the SEC is top heavy, and pointed out that only 6 teams won national championships since in the last 30 years or whatever, yada yada yada. Sir, the same can be said about the Big Ten. In my lifetime, I can't think of anybody in the Big Ten winning a national championship outside of Michigan and Ohio State. I can't think. I'm sorry. Penn State won 2 when Joe Pa was there. So Joe Pa, Ohio State, and Michigan.
Notre Dame is not Big Ten, even though they look like it.
They are not. Yeah,
they are not. They are independent.
So if I missed the team, oh wait, USC is in the Big Ten now. USC.
They don't count.
They wasn't in there.
They wasn't in there. Okay.
They was packed.
All right.
They definitely do not count. They did not win a national championship with a Big Ten banner.
So you want to hear the nasty part about what you just said? That means Penn State doesn't count either. So you have 2 teams in my lifetime. Because remember, Penn State was independent. 2 teams in my lifetime.
Damn.
Have won a national championship in the Big.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get
why wouldn't they want to go to Vegas? It's easy travel.
He said, and I'm just quoting him. He said basically, your furthest, the bulk of your teams are Mississippi East, outside of Oregon and outside of USC. And in my mind, I'm thinking this is a shot at the expansion of Oregon and USC. Mm-hmm. Right, and UCLA. That's what in my mind I'm thinking, because I know that travel can't be fun when they got to go out west. Not for their volleyball teams, not for their basketball teams. That can't be fun. because you go out west and you come immediately back at, which doesn't necessarily make financial sense. So you go out, you schedule a road trip, you do a few games and then come back. But to go one trip and come back like for football games and stuff, that's crazy. So I get what he's saying. But I don't think
they have two schools out there.
They do. I'm gonna say this: the ACC didn't get in their media day and complain that the media day was where it was at. Of course, the media day is on this side of the coast, so I mean,
yeah,
it show better.
Show you right.
They couldn't do it in Vegas.
But you know, that was that media day. And then before I get to the other stuff, so James Franklin said that. And friend of the show, MEAC Mike.
No.
While we was at media day, was complaining that media day looked cheap. That's what media day looked cheap. It didn't feel like a premier HBCU conference. Yet you have the number 3 school in the conference, give or take, of the Big Ten complaining that their media day looked rinky-dink. And when I told y'all SWAC media day is top of the line, it is at the Sheridan. They take over the bottom floor of the Sheridan. And I got dudes who look like me talking about the SWAC look cheap. No, let's not do that. Let's not even do that. Right. That's not what happened.
But where they look cheap at, and look cheap to who? Because you would have to be there. What I'm saying, you would have to be there to say that.
Molo flexing.
How you gonna hate from outside of the club?
You can't even get in.
But yeah, so I've seen a lot of media days, right? And I knew the SWAC had a top level media day. I knew they did. The only thing that was not top level was ESPN running 20 minutes behind. But I also got to say thank you, ESPN, because we got interviews that we probably wouldn't have got had y'all not been 20 minutes behind.
Yeah.
So it worked out in our favor. And also, you know, we get it out the mud. You tell us we ain't got no power, no problem. We'll figure it out. And we did. I keep a battery pack on me, buddy. So we figured it out. We got the interviews done. I will get them out. For those who haven't or were expecting media day interviews from me, I had to sidetrack the last couple of days because somebody thought it was going to be cute that the hackfatmousesports.net. They thought it was cute. And everything be fun and games until you get Uno reversed. So now they're dealing with an Uno reverse. And I'm going to leave it at that. But the MEAC had their media day this week. And I really wish Doc was here. But media day happened. And LeSean McCoy was co-hosting media day. And I missed a lot of media day because I was in transit. So I had missed a lot of it. But Twitter blew up. And it blew up. I'm sorry. Black Twitter blew up. It blew up big. HBCU Twitter was on fire. Let me give you an example, right? A lot of times people mispronounce universities when they're doing their commitments. And you have prospects and commitments, say the University of Florida State. And look, we'll get with him. We'll get him right. We'll get him right. He's still young.
It's not the University of Florida State.
No, it is not.
Oh,
it is Florida State University.
Oh, my bad.
And so, but that happens. You know, kids are got a million things going on. They trying to get the letters done or whatever. That's fine. The host of Media Day was announced a month ago. So you essentially had 30 days if you're a host to study, research, get prepared for this. Now, I believe her name is Tiffany Green. Tiffany and Jay Walker are consummate professionals. They have done HBCU Media Days for quite some time now, and they are professionals. And so in this setup, there was Jay and Tiffany in the stadium area, and then there was Shady McCoy in like a club type environment, if you will, where it was like a couch and a chair, and he was, you know, talking to the guests. So whenever in professional media you throw it to another anchor or interviewer, you present who's about to talk, and then you pass it on, right? So Tiffany says, this is who you're talking to, and throws it, and they call it throwing the shot. So he throws a shot. The room is set up with the coach, the helmet of the school, and Shady. The coach, helmet of the school, and Shady. Just for clarification or thoughts, ESPN in the 90s could have burned in hell for all I care for the number of times they called Florida A&M FAMU. Bitch, Disney World, I'm sorry, SeaWorld is in Orlando. FAMU is in Tallahassee. FAMU is in Tallahassee. See how that works? Why Shady McCoy, who openly advocated for the job at Howard because of the co-eds, called Howard University Hampton twice. Not one time. Twice.
If how to get uninvited to the cookout was a person.
Hey, they don't like each other, right?
No, they have an annual game called the Battle of the Real HE.
I know. They right across the bridge from each other. You can't do that. Not the rival. You can't mispronounce with the rival.
More so, the coach said, I ain't just finna sit here and let you call us that.
Listen. I know a lot of things happen. And Media Day is crazy. You got to get a spot. You got to be able to set up. You go through your
You ain't finna do that. He work for ESPN. He don't do none of that shit. He ain't setting up nothing. All he doing is showing up. So continue.
I try. I really try. I'm trying my best to shoot him some bail because it is not the individual that I don't like. It is what he said about HBCUs, about Howard in particular, and then to flub this interview so spectacularly, right? That's my issue.
You did that.
It is. Somebody else said that. Somebody else said that a certain coach at a certain school who is his homeboy, told him to do that. I don't think that would be the case. I would kind of look at that coach sideways if that was true, but I don't think that was the case. It's funny. It's a funny conspiracy, but I don't think that would be the case. Also, to add insult to injury, there is a picture going on around the internet where 4 of the 6 coaches are in a picture, and the 2 rookie coaches are not in the picture. My understanding was that Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick were in town when that picture was taken. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to speculate. I just know that there is a picture with 4 coaches and 2 coaches not in it. And it was a little, Trey Oliver was talking a little talk. So, there's all of that. But, that there was that. So all of that happened.
It's still the MEAC. Like, what are we doing?
I mean, they talking real tough. South Carolina State saying that they gonna, go back to the Celebration Bowl. Here go the controversy, right? God, I'm about to open TP. Let me go ahead and put this up now. Let me go ahead and put this up right now. So one of the controversies of the MEAC was that the Defensive Player of the Year, Preseason Defensive Player of the Year, is Second Team All-MEAC. The Morgan State Defensive Player of the Year is Second Team All-MEAC.
You kind of sort of said it all in the school you said.
I knew he was going to go there.
I'm just saying, Morgan State ain't. First of all, they had to play a lot of defense, so he had to shine. If not, then they probably wouldn't have won no games. So ranking him at, second team, that ain't a knock. That just means they might have a better team. He might not have to play as much defense. They might win 2 games.
TP, help me.
Help you with what?
Oh, God.
I mean, facts is facts. Morgan State ain't finna win. It's how many teams in the MEAC? 6?
Yes. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. I have it mixed up. I have it backwards. It's the Offensive Player of the Year. Jason Collins Jr. Jason Collins Jr. is Second Team All-MEAC.
Those preseason polls don't mean nothing anyway. They ain't even played the game. But back to what I was saying. It's 6 teams in the MEAC, and they're going to come in 7th place. I'm going to find a way to lose out of the MEAC. How you lose out of the MEAC?
Let me just go ahead. Let me go ahead and tweet this out right now. I'm just go ahead and tweet this out right now. At Banks, it was Marlo. I didn't say it.
And I said it with my chest. What they gonna do? Come down here and lose? What are we doing here? You want me to feel sorry for Morgan State?
It is just interesting.
I don't have that.
Player of the Year is the Second Team All Conference. That's
what he did to be First Team.
Now, the other thing that I find interesting, and I keep asking this question, and it's not out of disrespect. It's out of what I saw from from the Orange Blossom Classic through the end of the season. Your first team All-MEAC is Walker Harris. And go to Walker Harris stats. And I felt like, especially in some key games, later on in the season, he threw the ball more, right? But he had 1,845 yards passing last season. He had 18 touchdowns.
But for the whole season?
For the whole season, he had 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Okay. You said 100 yards.
1,845 yards and 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He had a passer rating of 150.6. Now, his completion 150.6 was his quarterback rating. His completion percentage was 61.1. Understand, at Fat Mouth Sports, we are not judging the player. We are asking questions about how they use the player. Because going into the season, we were told Walker Harris is the next coming of the former HBCU Player of the Year. That's what we were told. Darius, I can't remember his name.
That's why he come in at the top of the totem pole this season.
Okay, so the question is Trey Oliver gonna put that thing in the air? Because last year, South Carolina State was very balanced. That's how they got to the Celebration Bowl. And they had no problem with putting that thing in the air. And they had, Phoenix was the MEAC Player of the Year. Let me make sure I got that right. But they put that thing in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they were able. Eric Phoenix, that's right. Was the MEAC Player of the Year. They put that thing in the air. And had no problems with putting that thing in the air. So my question going into this season, Trey Oliver, are you gonna throw the ball? Because I know Chennis Berry is gonna throw the ball. He's gonna be balanced. Now, I've heard from some other people who were around Chennis Berry coaching other places that he gets in big games and he goes away from what got him to where he is. I would probably say, right, when I'm looking at the MEAC, and again, people are still getting signed to rosters. Rosters are not complete. I know this, right? I'm still looking at that school in DC. Oh man, I'm disrespecting them like Banks. I'm still looking at Howard, right? I think Howard has the ability to sneak in there and shock people. I'm still looking at Howard. However, Howard starts the season will determine how the MEAC goes. I don't think it runs through Morgan State.
Wait a minute. Howard played FAMU to start their season.
They're gonna lose by 30. What they got to do with the MEAC?
Oh, you say how they start the season is how their season gonna go.
I mean, how they start the season after the Orange Blossom Classic.
Oh, see that?
See how I clear that up? Clear that up. I don't listen. I really wanted Doc to be here because I definitely had questions. Maybe he's at work. I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything in the group chat. But again, that was my thought process on that. Also, so we're talking HBCUs. When FBS gets a sniffle, the FCS gets a cold, HBCU FCS gets pneumonia. There is realignment in the air. If your institution has the ability to move somewhere stable, they might start looking to move somewhere stable. And I want to be the one to start the controversy. I don't know nothing. I ain't heard nothing. This just me being the agent of chaos. Big Ski. We know how y'all like to beat up on Alabama State. We know how y'all like to fight with Alabama A&M. Big Ski. Man, call Dr. McClendon. Call Big Swag. Y'all got them lights coming in September the 6th. I'm trying to talk Marlo into us going to that game. Ball and parlay, dog. Swag style. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Come on, Big Skiggy. You want to piss the MEAC off? You want to piss the MEAC off? Come on over, man. Come on over. I don't know. I don't know if Edward Waters is ready, but they got a new locker room. They got a new locker room.
They got a new coach too.
They
got a new coach. They just hired Jenkins, who won 2 MEAC for the goddamn school in Daytona.
By the way, if Edward Waters beat Bethune-Cookman this year,
bittersweet. Then I will accept him into the fold. But right now, he's still a goddamn Wildcat to me.
Anyway, well, I'm just being a chaos agent. Big Skiggy to the swag. I don't know nothing. I ain't heard nothing. I ain't seen nothing.
You can't just be one school though. They will have to come with somebody. They couldn't just be one.
Who else? Who else?
Miles.
Who?
Well, they just lost their coach, so.
This is, see, I was cool with the chaos being Skiggy. They fit the bill. You know what? Since we're talking private institutions, and the SWAC do love Atlanta. CAU is in Atlanta. And Clark Atlanta beat that school at Daytona. I'm just that might be add another oh man. Yeah. Them the two. Skiggy and Clark. Skiggy and Clark. Them the two right there. Them the two right there. We call it chaos. We don't know nothing. We ain't seen nothing. We ain't heard nothing. Just chaos. It's absolute chaos. So I was hoping
that demographically it makes sense.
Marlo. That's why. See, we think alike.
No, I'm just thinking through the logistics because I mean it makes sense. The travel budget wouldn't be extended that much until they have to go out west. But
UAPB is the furthest school, man.
Mm-hmm.
UAPB. Then we got a game out there, dog. Are we going to UAPB?
Mm-mm.
You said that real fast.
Man, well, what was told to me is you got to go through some of them little towns that they don't like our kind in to get out of that school. And
Do God is still airport?
God is still working on me.
What flies in the sea? I'm trying to figure out what flies.
You would have to fly into Arkansas, or you would have to fly into Little Rock or some damn town over there and then drive.
Again, we don't know. It is a brother on the website, by the way.
A brother of what?
No, ain't no, none of the airlines we flying though. None of us. I was trying to make it happen.
You be trying to make it happen. Flying one of them crop dusters with cooter.
Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But it would. It's a nice thought. If I can figure it out logistically, it's a nice thought.
It ain't no damn nice thought. That's foolishness. Stop it,
man. Whatever. All right, we're gonna take a real quick break, and listen. If I'm looking like I don't know what's going on after the break, the way the software works is all very different. So, we'll be back on the other side. We'll definitely be back on the other side. Club, food etiquette, and apparently I got socially profiled at Hotel there. But that's neither none of there.
Is it a such thing as strip club food etiquette?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. You cannot go into a strip club that specializes in seafood.
Oh no.
Contradictory sense. Some stuff ain't gonna make no sense. Some stuff is gonna some stuff is gonna go together that shouldn't go together, and it's basically just not gonna be a good experience for those who have come for the food or those who have come for the strippers, because they're gonna get confused as to what they smelling.
So
that's a good way of putting it.
I'm gonna put this out there again and say I have a problem with there being a special strip club event during Lent. Like if I need my food and my strippers separate, I definitely need my religion and strippers separate. Like I just
you don't want the kitty pancakes?
No. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. So
as a matter of fact, the little strip club here, well, it ain't little, but the strip club here has an outstanding buffet, a lunchtime buffet. Rachel's.
I know. I passed by.
That food good. I can't say the same for, the dancers. So here's the thing. All right, you played the clip. It's not my fault that we're here. I'm partial to strip clubs that women actually like strip. I don't need you to have old clothing like tea bags and all of that. That is not stripping to me. So in Orlando, they can't bear all. So all I can do is go in there and enjoy the buffet and leave. Cause why you gotta put the little thing up there, man?
I'm trying to help you out.
Help me
I
out,
want
do
you to
what?
be you see how TP is silent?
I did not say TP name. All I said was I'm partial. Me. I made an I statement. I'm partial to if I decide that I want to go to a strip club, I don't need to go to a strip club. Like you can go to the beach and see T-Bag. So my motivation to never mind. I can't say that without it sounding kind of crazy, but yeah, that's just me.
I don't
Shout out to Racist for that buffet though. That was what's up.
I don't even know where to go from there. I got nothing, TP. I got nothing.
Well, we ain't got to talk about strippers. It's a whole lot of sports stuff going on. I'm
It
going
is.
to I'm going to training camp next week. Go Bucks.
Speaking of Go Bucks, you know y'all oversized defensive tackle. The Bucks say they're not gonna let him practice until he get in better shape.
Well, who want to kill somebody? You know how hot it's been here.
I live here. I know how hot it's been. I'm just saying
So
what they
that's a
said.
business decision. That is a
I'm
business. What they need to
I'm
do, what they need to do was send somebody home with him every day, round the clock. Make sure he eating what he doing and doing what he's supposed to physically. Cause how you left college at 400 and some pounds, and you still 400 and some pounds.
Hey Marlo, remind me real quick what school he came from?
Hey man, I ain't into the school bashing. It's a
It ain't no
list. It's
bashing. It's just a question.
Morgan State, Bethune.
It's just a question. I don't know when you became this boot skin fan, but he's a
Oh,
boot skin fan.
I am definitely not that.
You know,
Cause I peek behind the curtain. I know too much. I could never root for that school. So I'm just saying. But yes, he did go to Florida though. He did. And at 450 pounds, now you got to start thinking about life choices.
you know, um, listen. I'm not gonna lie. The allure of having a 400-pound in shape defensive tackle, yeah, he plugs up the run game all by himself. The problem is he's not in shape. We've seen the footage. He ain't
How
in
many
shape.
folks, 450-pound guys, are in shape? Don't worry, I'll wait.
We talking about the dude from Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how he made it through Florida looking like that.
I don't know how he ended up
You
on a
know what?
team. Oh,
No,
wait, the Bucks picked him up.
It does make sense how he made it through Florida looking like that. The record speaks for itself.
Yeah.
But you was worried about me bashing Florida. Okay.
No, I knew it was coming.
I just got here. I ain't saying nothing bad. No, but SEC teams are baby pro teams, and we know that. The nutrition, the strength and conditioning, the style of play. how did he remain that big through the program? It is a serious question. And if he can remain that big and out of shape through a baby protein, that man about to be Zion Williams in a helmet.
But you know the best part about all of this? He playing for the Bucks.
That's true.
Thank you, goodness. Because you put him next to Vita Vea in run situations, they got to be audible in something else. There's no double team. There's no, like, who you going to pick? Which one of the mountain of an individual are you going to pick to try to block?
I mean, they only got about 10 seconds on the block, so just wait them out.
There ain't no waiting. Because Vita Vea, he kills double teams.
Yeah, no, Vita Vea does. Other dude only got about 10 seconds on the block. Just wait him out.
But the
Give him time.
other buddy is probably one of the strongest guys coming into the league this year.
But he only got 2 steps, Marlo. 2 steps.
That's all you need. What is he? 6'4", 6 something? He tall. He ain't just big.
No, he's big and tall and slow.
All he do is if he come off the ball, what guard in front of him is gonna redirect him.
How can Marlo? You missing what we saying? In shape, one hand Jason Pierre-Paul would beat his ass.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. In shape. I'm just talking about physics. 450 pounds.
Marlo
Yeah,
fell
and
for the same thing I fell for during the draft.
And if you spin on him, he done for. He cannot move. His footwork is trash. He's just big.
I don't need him to move nowhere but forward. There has to be an accountability for him coming into the hole and in my backfield on running situations. You have the game plan for that, and then you have Villa on the other side of him. Like that is crazy.
I'll say this.
Now, when he get his ass beat week 1, please drop the clip on this show.
Oh, I'm not gonna say he's gonna go in there and raise
I'm
hell.
putting the clip in the group chat as soon as he get his ass whooped. All season long.
Listen, I don't think he make it through.
He only gonna be in if he makes the team. He will only be on the team.
God.
For run.
Marlo, are y'all doing the thing at University of Tampa this year?
I don't know.
If it's at UT, dear Father God, for all that is good and holy, do not let that man work out at UT. There is nowhere to hide.
It's always in one place since they built the new facility.
Okay.
You know, they got the indoor stuff out there too, so.
Why is these snacks sitting right in front of me? I want a snack so bad. I don't know what to do. But all right, so listen, a lot has happened. Wait, before I get to that, I wanted Doc to be here. I really want Doc to be here because Doc had Shady on his show, and they were talking about a lot of things, media day, all of this. And please know, Shady and Ashley of Fang Exchange, they have a lot of fans at media day.
I bet they did.
I'm finna be like Biz Noob. Y'all need to watch it. Y'all need to watch it. Anyway, they have a lot of fans, and so they were talking about on Doc's show yesterday. They were talking about a bunch of stuff, and then he asked a question about the starting quarterback. Now, Doc is not here to defend himself. It may have been some journalistic integrity behind it. Very, very well may have been. Howsoever, sir, don't you worry about who the starting quarterback gonna be.
Howsoever.
just know that the starting quarterback gonna be SWAT Player of the Year when we go to the Celebration Bowl. That's all you need to know. QB1 is QB1 of that day. That's all you need to know. Doc, my guy, though. Good people. Good people. Don't be asking about QB1. I seen all the comments. I was in the comment section. Seen all the little comments.
Hey, we looking like QBU over there, and everybody got questions.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy,
but when they talking about you,
and there's one more damn quarterback, I'm gonna be Coles at his office. Like, what, bro? What's going on?
Listen,
Coles and Coach Bird is we're gonna have to answer some questions. Hey, somebody get them on the 220 club immediately.
Listen, I'm gonna say it like this. We here all know who QB1 is. We know.
I have an idea, but I don't think anybody over there necessarily ran away.
No, they didn't run away with it.
Ran away with the job. But I do. If it's not who I think it is, I think it's down to two of them, and it is sheet of paper close.
I'm gonna say this based on what I saw. Y'all know I hate watching tape because I hate letting y'all know that I know what I'm looking at. That I want other people's opinions, but when this particular one was brought up, they was getting me hyped. So I went and looked at, everybody had a huddle. And you look at the huddle, it's like, oh, that's some cute highlights. No.
Yeah.
Let's go look at the games. Let's go look at, because the highlights in huddles, like, okay, cool.
But go watch full games and see how they respond to stuff.
You hype me up, so let me go look at the full game. And I'm looking at the game. I looked at a whole game or all of the game that they had available, right? That was the first one. I think that was only like 40 minutes. So then I went and I found 3 other games and watched the whole 2 hours of the games, right? And when I watched the whole 2 hours of the game, I did some TP analysis, right?
Wait a minute, what's TP analysis?
I'm breaking down whether or not he can throw short. Oh man, TP was windmilling on Twitter. If he can throw short, if he can throw intermediate, can he throw long? Can he drop it off where the running back can get the ball and make a play? And when I looked at all them tapes, I'm like, oh, he got Tony Ezel potential.
Can he see when the blitz is coming and step out of it and not stand there and look at it?
He is not a stationary quarterback. He can move out the way.
Get the hell out the way, because
he get out the way and he looking to make a play in the passing game. Listen. He just,
we all know what happened when we had Montez as a signee for 12 hours.
Listen, this is why I'm not talking. This is why I'm not talking. I'm trying to let you in your hold on, Marlo. Your devices are not connecting.
Y'all gotta excuse my tardiness. I had to take my grandma to the doctor today, and she's 90.
Oh, no.
And y'all know what happens when you take old people to the doctor and have to feed them, and they want to tell you how to drive.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want that. They want something else when they just said they wanted that 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had a headache.
I understand. I was with that lady today.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't. Somehow when I'm off, when she off, I'm off.
Oh yeah.
And for my clients that watch the show, thank you. If next year your rates go up, it wasn't me. Just know that. I'm gonna leave it just like that. It was not me. Now, Jamal, there's been a lot going on in WNBA. It's just been a lot going on in general.
Yeah.
And I know you had some things you want to speak on, sir. The matter of fact, the floor is yours. I'm gonna give me a little bit.
Are you eating snacks?
Listen, man, they sitting right here.
I'm not gonna judge you. Well, we gonna recap. Last week was All-Star Weekend. If you enjoy women's sports, I say get the WNBA app, watch everything. You'll like it. But also at All-Star Weekend, they did start preliminary talks for CBA. I think WNBA is in talks, not preliminary. They're in talks, like deep in talks. WNBA is in talks. I think the NFL is in talks as well, and we probably got about 2 years left on the NBA CBA before they start talking about this. I briefly skimmed the current CBA that the WNBA is under, and it is absolutely atrocious. I meant to drop it in the group chat, and I forgot. I'll drop it after after we get off tonight. And while I was reading it, I had to remind myself that that was just only the second CBA that they had signed since this league has been the league. So they're currently working on the third CBA. So under the last CBA, under this current CBA, I was also alive when they locked out, so I knew what they were fighting for in the second one. The second one, they were going after wages and benefits for being pregnant. So by the time the league got to year 20, they were making the pay was pretty bad. I think it was in between like 30 and 55K. On the second CBA, then the wages went from like 30 to 55K to people like G.O.O.M making $241,000 a year to shoot 3 from 11 from field. But I'm gonna shut up about that. And they had absolutely no coverage for pregnancy, which is why the Cheryl Swoops thing, when she first got drafted and pregnant a week later, was a big deal. So that's what they were after under this under the current CBA. This one now, I think, will set the league up for the next 10 years to actually make money where people can stop calling them broke. Now that's the first thing. Second thing, I didn't finish it. I meant to go back and bulletize it so I can talk about it. But it's a young lady that did some doctoral level research on where is the WNBA money going, and the money is going to the NBA.
You said it's going to the NBA?
The money is going to the NBA. A lot of the revenue dollars that I put it in the group chat. I'll bring it back to the top so you can watch it. They're subsidizing a lot of what the NBA is doing with money from the WNBA. And it's in the data. I would gladly share it. So now it becomes, what does Kathy do? And we all know I am not a fan of Kathy. That lady can disappear tomorrow, and I'll probably throw something on the grill. What does she do? Because you got players pretty much telling people that, hey, we in talks for a CBA and they ain't budget on money. So what does she do? Pay us what we deserve shirts. Just because you can't manage your money right don't mean I don't deserve a better salary.
I'm trying. You know what? I'm not gonna do this. So through this research, and I remember it because when I watched the video, a name popped up that everybody should pay attention to: Deloitte.
Yep.
Deloitte if you guys heard me make fun of the NIL Go software that had the IBIS people as their display for the presentation, and it didn't work properly, it's them people. Them is the people who put that software together. My understanding is a lot of Ivy League school people go work at Deloitte after school because the only thing Deloitte does is make money.
Off the government at that.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be a fan of Deloitte. I'm just not. I don't know enough, and B, whenever Deloitte has mentioned something bad has happened, so I don't know enough. I'm not going to be a fan. But the fact that there isn't, as a business, when you bring in revenue, part of that revenue is to build the product. And then the other part is to like save for a rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that the WNBA don't have money to the side, but I'm saying if the NBA is pulling money out of the league, how are we expecting them to grow? Because money that could be used to market, to grow, to just find out what your fans want and need, improve stadiums, all of those things, the R&D, the A/B testing, all of that money is going to the NBA. And you have an organization that's running on bare bones, and people are asking us, hey, why isn't the WNBA at this spot instead of this spot? The research says the NBA. We've been saying for years the NBA used the WNBA as a tax write-off.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do that now because they got $1 billion media rights deal. There's money to be made now. Franchises are costing real money. So
get off your ass, Magic Johnson.
And that, I don't want to do this. But is Magic Johnson a WNBA owner?
Yep. He owns the Sparks. He owns the Dodgers. He owns the Commanders. I think he owns a hockey team too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He the reason why Derek Fisher got there and ruined the championship squad by putting Candace Parker on the bench, and she ended up in Chicago the next year. And Neko Gumike ended up in Seattle. Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I mean, the WNBA problem is not fans. It's not the players. It's ownership. It's always been ownership. I would say part of it can also be players association leadership, but now the players association leadership isn't scared. They got shirts on All-Star weekend saying pay us what you owe, all that stuff. So now you can't say that anymore. It's the issue resides squarely on players now. I mean, on owners. So it's gonna be fun to watch. So
Milo back.
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. So look, we was talking about media day. We was talking about all this other stuff, right? Marlo got a chance to meet the guys from No Chill Sports. And for everybody that see me on Twitter and think that I'm an asshole or a troll, I don't ever start it. I always respect.
Did you say ever?
What I started?
Milo said you
the Paul Feinbaum stuff. He started it.
Oh,
I ain't started that. He started.
Paul Feinbaum couldn't pick you out of a lineup if you was the only person in it.
It don't matter. He started it.
What are we talking about?
He started it. All the Ivy stuff and the boot skin stuff, they started that. They started all that. I don't never start it. I just respond. People don't like the way I respond.
Oh my gosh.
You start stuff. I don't start stuff, but I sure finish it. But you start stuff.
Oh man, I ain't gonna say I don't. I'm a realist.
So
Sometimes a grenade needs to be thrown because you need to see what an explosion looks like.
He right.
just,
I'm just
I
saying.
mean, no, he got a point. Sometimes you do need to blow shit up.
Richard Pryor has a famous joke, and it is so inappropriate right now. I'm gonna let that go.
What Richard Pryor joke isn't inappropriate?
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. So today, also in HBCU land, and this has been going on for a while, right? Students at Howard have been on the TikTok talking about their accounts and them having whole registration holes and whatnot. And this has been going on for a while. And when I say a while, it had been going on for so long and so many, it had gotten so much attention that the University of Howard or Howard University had to respond. And normally we talk sports here, but this was so big, it's got to be talked about because I was unaware stuff like this go on at HBCUs.
What?
Hold on, Marlo. I got a question, Marlo. I know I've been around HBCUs, but this is crazy to me because this would never happen at Florida State. This would never happen at USF.
Well, you want to know why it won't happen at Florida State and USF? Because one second, y'all have more money. So what y'all do is y'all go ahead and do the calculations on what kids are going to get back in return. Y'all send them the money, and then when you get the federal dollars in, you pay yourself back. HBCUs don't have the liquid cash to operate like that.
I agree. However, and that's why I was going to use this story. I had a situation, financial aid situation. I had a hole. And this is the only case that this is possible at Florida State. I had a hole, but the incoming year, I had financial aid coming in. So they said, go to the foundation, get an emergency loan if you're eligible. Everybody's not eligible for an emergency loan.
Right.
Let's be clear. Get an emergency loan, and then we can cover your classes until the new year, and we'll take out from that semester. And if you had another semester, they'll split it up so you don't get hit all at one time, right? Even 2 years. I'm sorry. Let me back up. So finally, Howard responds. And essentially, the letter that they put out on social media was they are dropping the holes of students whose accounts have been in the rears or the 22-23, the 23-24, and now semester. So basically 2 years of holds. They just gonna, y'all can register. We'll figure it out. We ain't talking about 5 students. We ain't talking about a couple hundred students. We're talking about a whole bunch of students.
So are they eventually gonna ask for the money back? Like,
oh, they're definitely gonna ask for that money back.
They're gonna ask for the money back.
But that's what the kids are missing. Like you can't be in the negative for 2 years and expect you gonna keep going to school here.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is most of these kids think they're entitled to something. They think that like at HBCUs we have to go through a little different kind of struggle to go to an HBCU if your family isn't stroking checks. If you're dependent on financial aid money, you're going to have to make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed every single semester. I was a little more privileged than others. I didn't have that problem because I was on scholarship. But even when I moved off campus to get my net checks, and so I had to go stand in line to make sure that money was coming to cover my rent. Now my line was different from other people's line, but I had to go up to Fort Hillier and stand in line to make sure things got covered. If not, it was gonna be a problem with where I stayed.
I mean, nah, my problem wasn't that. Mine was making sure, because I was on financial aid, right? And I can only speak for FAMU because that's the school I went to. My issue I had with FAMU was the drop and add date was so fucking long,
Oh yeah,
and you don't get your money until after drop and add, and they can tell the government, hey, these are the classes that y'all in. Where other schools you had, if class started on Monday, dropping that was Friday, and that was it. It was a hard, hey, you drop in that what you need today, and that is it. And for the most part, I got my money on time. I didn't get it one semester, and that was a self-inflicted wound called not signing your promissory notes.
yeah, and it's usually paperwork.
Yeah, it's paperwork. It's always paperwork. It's
It's
paperwork,
always
or
paperwork.
it's like I said, teachers, professors not putting in attendance. Like, bro, you can't wait 2 weeks to put in attendance. I'm like JG Wentworth. I need my money, man.
Right.
So at every university, there is going to be some kind of thing you're going to have to deal with. It
Yeah,
might not be to the extent of other universities, but every single one of them, you're going to have to deal with something. So going to these HBCUs thinking everything's going to be smooth sailing, and for the most part, that's not the case with most people that go to these schools. They don't have issues like that.
This is
but I
true.
I
said I said something to my daddy about going to Howard. I ain't never seen that man look at me that crazy before. He's like, man, I can't afford that. And this is in 2009.
That's out of state tuition.
Yeah, bro.
There's that like that.
Hey, that man had never told me no before. He's like, hey man, dad can't afford that.
He wasn't wrong because even as an athlete, when I had the opportunity to go just about anywhere, and they were just talking with them. Oh, well, you'll come in, so you won't have to worry about out of state tuition. I was like, well, what is it? And it's like $10,000 more a semester for out of state fees than it is in state. I was like, so if y'all decide to take my scholarship away, I'm responsible to pay out of state fees? Oh, shit. That's a non
I
starter.
think I
Join the
think the number I
military,
saw today was
kids.
You want to know
Just
the
join.
other
Hey, join the
wild thing with
military,
that,
kids.
right? Join the military, kids. The other wild thing with that is when you look at a state like Florida, the tuition here is so much cheaper than elsewhere that I had a homeboy that came from Portland, Oregon, to go to FAMU because it was cheaper than a WAC school.
mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, tuition, say you're taking 12 to 14 hours a semester, for the year, it's going to be somewhere around 5 grand, 5 to 6 grand FM. You're not paying that nowhere else.
Maybe I should go to journalism school.
It's just not. And FAM has one of the best journalism schools.
Yeah.
I wanna caution every one of you with your camera out and in your feelings about what's going on with you personally, right? The institution has done you a favor by carrying the load for you when you did not or could not carry it yourself. For the sake of the institution, they are not going to be able to do that indefinitely. They're just not.
Well, they lucky that happened at Howard and not at FAMU. Let you owe FAMU some damn money. Your ass won't be signing up for classes next semester.
At all.
It won't get to no 2 years.
At all.
If your fees ain't paid down to below $500 at the end of that semester, you don't register for classes. Period.
Yeah.
It ain't going in no 2 semesters, 3 semesters. It ain't doing none of that.
Marlo, you are talking about still being able to go to class without fully paid after drop ad.
Yeah.
Understand, on this side, after drop ad, you are no longer a student if your fees are not paid.
Nah, they will unregister you and say come back when you can clear this account.
No, what my point is at FAMU, and I ain't telling you something I heard, something that somebody whispered to me. From what I know, if you are a student going from fall semester into spring semester, and your say your fees, you had $2,000 worth of fees or a financial obligation that needed to be paid, you can register for the next semester if your fees are below $500.
Yeah.
This ain't something I'm grabbing out that amount I'm grabbing out the air. This is some like I just had 4 kids go to school there.
Yeah.
This some shit I know.
You keep it under 4, they're gonna take it out of whatever your excess is for the next semester.
The next semester.
So like if you owe them $300 and your excess is $1,200, you only getting
$900 back. Yeah.
because they taking their money.
Yeah.
They getting that money.
Yeah.
But again, what I'm saying is the ability or I'm not going to call it ability, the grace that the university, an HBCU university, is giving students to say, hey, I know it's rough. I'm going to float you a little bit, but you need to take care of this on the back end or we're going to have an issue.
But as a business of excellence, like they have to have a standard. You can't allow them to go 1 and 2 years and then all of a sudden say, you can't go no more.
Hey, I can't go 40 hours negative on my PTO at work, so what the hell?
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy to me. How you let them go 2 years?
You gonna go 2 full years and not
try to enforce them paying y'all?
But
That's
this is what happened.
crazy.
They tried to enforce it. Yes, you would prefer it not to get to 2 years. But my thing is, y'all is on social media.
After the first semester, they never would have been on social media.
They went to social media, and then social media is wagging their finger at Howard like Howard wrong. That is the insanity of it.
That's crazy to me.
That is crazy.
Like that, like and people like, well, Howard got the money. No, they don't.
Oh
you worried about the wrong thing.
You worried about the wrong thing.
Can we explain? Let me explain to you about endowments and what you can't do, right? So when alums and fans donate to a university's funds, if they issue a line for a particular item, or they go to the website and say this is for athletics, or this is for the band, or this is for the library, if you spend that money, and we know this because New College of Florida is about to deal with this right now. If you
Hey,
spend
that's what
that money,
happens when you hire an inexperienced president.
if you spend that money any way other than intended, you run the risk of state law that has been violated or federal law, depending on how the situation sits. That money has to be spent as intended from the donation. If there is money that is donated that has no earmark on it, then that can be used anywhere. But any earmarked money, you can't use it for anything. So all them millions of dollars that you see, I think Howard got $1 billion in endowment. Howard just can't willy-nilly just spend that money. They have to make sure that money is there for the next 150 years. They ain't got time to spend no money for people who are not paying their bills. You can't do it.
The biggest problem with this whole situation.
Supporters of Howard, if you want them to be able to do that, then start dumping money in the scholarship fund, and they can't.
The biggest problem with this Howard story is self-inflicted from the university. Because if the university would have held their feet to the fire from semester one, from fall semester, your ass ain't pay your fees going into spring semester, you don't register. That happens at every university in the country.
Yeah, I mean, shit, fam, you got me one year. I didn't get, like, that's right before that semester I graduated. I didn't get in at 8, and I had to come to the very house that I'm at right now and get a $2,500 check from my grandma to go back to school. And she gladly wrote it too, but still.
They do not play that radio.
Nah, because I was like, man, I gotta graduate. I couldn't explain to them where I didn't graduate because they ain't want to. I messed up. So you know, you have to fall on your sword sometimes, and that was my fall on the sword moment.
Yeah.
Well, I know we running out of time, and I know TP is up against it. TP, sir, interesting week. What you got for us today?
I ain't got much, man. You know, everybody got something to say when they can hide behind the internet.
Yep.
All that y'all talking to Cam, go say it to his face. Go have an actual debate with the man. You know, we can have, like you said, let's bring back sports arguments, because as soon as somebody feelings get hurt, now we're not talking about the sport anymore. We're gonna start talking about the person and whether or not you feel like they are actually a good person. You know, accolades are one thing, team achievements are another. And when you're comparing players who played at different times, oftentimes you find yourself comparing apples to oranges. One thing ain't like the other one. So, you know, just understand that your view might be just your view, and it might be biased. Because there are a lot of people with biased views, though, you know, that speak about things, and you know, that's fine. I can say I think J.J. Watt is the greatest defensive player of all time. Do I have an argument? Yes. But is there still a debate because there have been other greats? Absolutely. So two things can be true. Two things can be actual. And everything isn't finite. When it's all said and done, you can voice your opinion, but please leave your emotion out of it. And that's all I got for y'all this week.
Marlo, sir. What you got for
Why
us today,
you doing all that damn breathing? I'm just here. It's gonna go where it's gonna go. That's where it's gonna go. But I am I would be remiss if I didn't send out condolences to the family. Lost my father-in-law last week, and we're laying in the rest on Saturday. Just want to send a shout out to the family. Let everybody know that everything's good over here. We're working through it, getting through it. So appreciate the prayers and shout outs to the family and friends. Thank you. Also, football season is, for me, football season starts next week. I will be at training camp. I'm going 2 days next week. So yeah, I'm excited. Boy, we looking like a bunch of monsters in our receiver room. Got a top 10 quarterback. Our defense is on the come up. We're gonna be problems this year. We're gonna be problems. We got depth in areas where we didn't have depth. And if you listening, if you hear our podcast and you think you really need Dean, I'm just say you don't. It's been a liability since he got there. Like he done all he can do. So it's okay. It's okay to cut bait. It's okay to yeah. It's okay. So unless you coach him up, now you are a defensive minded coach, so I am not putting that out of the realm of possibility. But unless you coach him up, it's okay. You can let him go. But that's all I got, y'all. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. He probably ain't gonna come through and sign, my training camp football I buy every year. But I don't want him to sign it anyway, so even swap ain't no swindle. So that's all my time, y'all.
You know,
Oh, wait. And fuck that school in Daytona. I could end the week with that without that. Okay, now I'm finished. Oh yeah, and Morgan State. Them two.
I don't know how
Damn,
Morgan
what
State
Morgan
going to play.
State did this week?
I don't know how they going to play.
Exactly. They ain't did shit. And they be bumping their gums.
Oh man. Well, it's that time of year. We're getting very, very close to the season. Hope springs eternal for every program across America. And so we are vastly approaching everyone talking crap about the teams that are probably gonna suck.
Yep.
My team last year, they didn't do so well.
Let me mute myself. Hold on. I gotta mute myself.
I famously said or asked God, he unmutes himself. I asked God to help me hit the Powerball so I can hire the 100 so they can march down his street every week until he decided he didn't want to be at my beloved alma mater. But it's a new season.
That shit, y'all
And
have a
hope
new coach in
springs
December.
eternal. And we are in a better position than we was last year. But the standard is still the standard. And no matter what nobody told y'all, I did not put that for sale sign in that man's yard. I don't care what I said.
Oh shit!
I don't know why he got up in media day and started talking loud and his voice cracking like somebody at church asked him about the building fund money. I don't know what happened. It was not a good look. It wasn't a rah-rah speech. It was a I did not steal the church money speech. My head coach is also giving back $4 million this season. And listen, that's all well and fine. But I'm going to say this. The standard is the standard. All these talks of 7-5 and 9-3. Playoff win to keep going.
You know it's funny. I just scrolled Facebook and somebody said I have zero confidence in Mike Norvell.
A lot of people do not. I know in the regular season we beat SEC teams for some strange reason. I don't know why. This guy beat LSU twice. Alabama don't have no starting quarterback that we need to be scared of. Their quarterbacks have no experience going into the smaller Doak Campbell Stadium at Bobby Bowden Field. The tomahawk chop will still play. There will be no DJ playing on third down. I don't care who like it.
Oh, DJ the QB?
No, DJ the chippy. Anyway. We are Florida State.
This ninja just scratched. Hair scratch.
We are Florida State. We will be fine. Because like I said, in December, one way or the other, I will be smiling. So,
oh my God.
For everyone here at Fat Mouth Sports and the Gathering of Old Men podcast,
you forgot Jamal.
Will, what? Oh, you know what? My bad. My bad. That's on me. That is on me. Jamal, sir. I purposefully let you go last, but Marlo kept interrupting me. Made me.
I didn't remember laugh at the funny shit you were saying.
What you got for us? What you got for us this week, man?
What do I have for this week? Jeez. I did have something to say, and I forgot while I was laughing at you in your Florida State spiel. I know y'all talked about Buddy showing up to MEAC Media Day with no suit on already. I know y'all did.
Oh no!
I got y'all talk about that. So this isn't a rant. This is mainly, and you know what the wild part is, he knows better. So earlier today, I saw a video on social media where this young lady had on a gray shirt, some khakis, and a pair of Adidas. And she said, well, now I'm at Walmart buying these like work type shoes. She said, because they said I was dressed too casual. And I'm like, you are dressed too casual, right? Industries have ethics and standards, no matter the industry, right? If you a chef, they wear coats. If you a mechanic, they wear blues. If you work in an office, for the most part, you wear some type of business attire all the time, unless it's dress down Friday. That's what it is. Coaches have been wearing suits my entire life, up until probably these last 5 to 6 years, especially when you look at the NBA. They dress like they going to the gym at all times. Same thing with the NFL. NFL coach on the sideline dressed like he going to the gym, but when they have an interview when they talking to the media, when they at media day, they put that shit on. So I don't know if it's a new wave of coaches where he like, hey, I'm just wearing my Jordans and my khaki. Even Michael Vick had a suit on. And this man comes in here in a polo shirt, a fitted cap, and some Jordans. I said it on this show earlier. He ain't gonna be there long. I wouldn't let my kid go there at all. And I'm standing on it.
Damn.
It is what it is. Trevor Lawrence got this season, and if he do some dead ass shit like he did last season, I'm gonna start looking at my Jaguars crazy. He gotta go. I don't think he is.
Oh man, you need to talk with my uncle. He don't think he is either.
He ain't it, and we paying him all that money. He ain't it, and I'm like, I'm used to being bad, y'all, but somebody got to show some fight, like Marlo said. God damn.
Oh shit.
We're about to build what $100 million stadium just
Yeah.
for Sunshine to throw interceptions in. I don't think so.
Damn.
I don't think so at all. But as usual, fuck Donald Trump. Crash the fuck out when people got you fucked up and punch Nazis. I'm Lord Jamal.
I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Shout out to Greg Sankey, SEC commissioner, for tweeting out a new logo, TOC, that other conference. Yeah, it's getting spicy before the football season. This is gonna be a fun season.
Hey, y'all really think UNC gonna let Chapel Hill go to the SEC?
I don't know.
I think they're gone.
I don't know. I don't see why.
They
UNC is
got
a
deep hooks.
basketball school.
Yeah, they got deep hooks.
They are a basketball school. And if you take UNC, are you gonna take Duke or North Carolina State?
I don't think Duke is going. I do think North Carolina State is going. Duke and Wake Forest are the teams that you need to pay attention to, because if those two leave the ACC, it's a wrap.
But that's the thing. So if UNC leaves, that low key destroys the Tobacco Road rivalry. Is that are both of those schools gonna let that go?
I think the SEC would get and they only care about out of conference schedules for basketball. They would get a premier out of conference basketball schedule, because North Carolina and Duke are gonna figure out a way to play each other.
They got to. They got to, bro.
And that boosts the strength of schedule for the SEC's basketball. Also, let's just keep it a buck. Nobody in the SEC likes the boot skins winning national championships. So bringing North Carolina in the
SEC though.
Yeah,
I know.
The SEC ain't no basketball conference. It never has been.
And if you bring in North Carolina and North Carolina State, you can now say that you are both a basketball and football conference. And at the end of this media rights deal, you get a bigger deal.
Oh, I forgot something. Fuck Hulk Hogan too. Call me and we'll swear down.
We gonna get out of here.
Then I'll be sad. I don't give a fuck about no that. 2 races dropped dead this week. The world just got a little bit lighter.
Woo. So for everybody at the Gathering of Old Men Podcast, Fat Mouth Sports, TP, Marlo, Lord Jamal, Danny, Doc Holiday with HBCU Overdrive, we are out.
And they were racist. You ain't got to put your disclaimer up. I ain't saying nothing wrong.
His ass was racist.
Oh God.
I grew up in St. Pete. He ain't did
Mo,
shit
who was
for
the
the
teacher at
Southside.